There's some question, like Linda used to say to me, or I used to say at some point, it's kind of like Melissa and I would drive in the Saab, like 1995 to 1996, but it was like an old used Saab. Be like, whatever floats your boat. Like, that would be like our saying. One of those like pearls of wisdom from like the GB, like from Great Beyond. Don't know how I came upon that, like catchphrase or punch phrase, but like we used to say it all the time. And then in like actuality, I'm like, what floats your boat? Well, I don't have a boat that I'm aware of. I wouldn't know how to research how to find a boat that I might belong on. I don't even know how to find property
I don't care what you
ownership or financiers. I would have no idea on something on the water. It's not like it's public record. And then that went to an article I found about Juno, Juno, and some Hubble telescope. I think it was Hubble. They put out something today about the different colorful bands of microwave radiation found on the planet Jupiter, or on Jupiter. That's what they say. Jupiter, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, I wonder how that ties in with what I'm experiencing with hot and cold pockets and the one green plasma guideline that is now being pulled off with plasma between interstitial and interstellar pockets of gravitational force that are making it really incredibly uncomfortable in the field. I have to think. So now I wrote about that, and then there was something that was put up about black holes expanding, causing a problem. It was something else that I wanted to write on, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, are they going to use this black hole theory for some conspiracy theory, on some working theory, on some critical race, for some what floats your boat financier campaign? Because I really feel like that's what they've been doing with this FM, AM, Jason, DJ thing, which I'm not quite sure how that all ties in with it, but I know if I keep going, I'll get to the bottom of the rabbit hole, since I'm the missing link in the chain of FETTERED. I was broken off so they could install some really crappy strings all out of whack. And now it's really painful. And it's coming to light the more that I try to link my squares together and figure out under this unity piece over here. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's November 4th, 2021. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11321. I'm sorry, 11361. I said to Angel Valet tonight, I took a line off of the song that makes him smile, because I asked him his understanding of it, or his understate of it. And I said, if I say, y mañana otra cosa, what does that mean to you? And he says, that means just tomorrow means more things. Like today we do these things, tomorrow we do these things. I'm like, right, let's go with that premise. And when I pass the umbrella, I'll just keep saying that to you, that or buonasera. So that's what I've been working on when I pass him, to avoid other conversation. And then I've got, I asked Lewis in his Northern Italian understate and cognitive dissonance completely. I'm like, what if I say, I know it's Spanish, Lou, but I know there's some crossover lingually. I was like, what if I say that to you? And he goes, he's like, what is y mañana? And I was like, according to my Colombian contact on Bell Boulevard, when I asked him, he said it's like your Italian version of a domani. Like, oh, tomorrow. Because to Lewis, a domani means tomorrow. It's not necessarily dominion and has nothing to do with that, because the language here with my collateral instruments that play a song of English when it comes out, it's strung all wrong. The entire melody in my household between Lewis and Linda doesn't come out right. The language they use, sometimes there's a pearl of wisdom. If I sit back and I really think about it and I have a working theorem, I can decipher a little bit better. But for most of my life, it's like insomnia. I hear them, I disregard them, and I chalk them off as non-essential equipment. Because they're just malfunctioning. And it's a malfunction, I feel now, that is just, it's so painful. But I have no options. Because whatever Lewis does or doesn't do, he doesn't share it with me. And I haven't been benefiting from it. It's just been getting worse between the Harry Potter committee and then the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I'm just stuck smack in the middle of these out of whack quantum strings. And I'm like, I really think there was a chain at one time I was connected to that broke. Why can't we go back to strong chains and see if we can get a welding committee together to put the chain back together? I mean, blacksmith, well, no, maybe not blacksmith, but why not welding committee? We'll stay out of everything Blackwater operations at the moment. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. The land folks that I'm stuck and marooned with, they use the word noir, Noir, and the word black, Black, in an ill-begot manner that has now taken the strings they installed when they broke the chain, and they have pulled it, everything, not, well, whatever's misusing these two terms and phrases in some campaign finance to float boats that were never there before and build things that were never there before. And then it just turns into these horrible things. But more concerning is the plasma vortices that are causing humanity in my area to break. Most of in my ghost town that I am resident in at the moment, by driver's license only, New York State, and nightly circadian, the other people that I see, they're not of excessive health. They are, they shift, orthopedically, there's damage to whatever's in my lagoon. I can see it. I mean, I'm damaged, for sure. Linda's damaged. Lou seems to have a little bit more fluidity. I'm feeling very rigid. I feel morbidly rigid. And like rigid setting in, like a rigor mortis, but I'm still alive. But it feels like that's how I'm overcompensating for the interstitial and interstellar plasma being so gravitationally pulled off. So I'm becoming more rigid as I walk to protect my joints and my bones from cracking or from a real serious problem. But it's more of a shuffle at this point. It's almost impossible to lift the knees up to the belly button area in whatever sector, cross vector that I'm stuck in as Goddess Nyx, with a bodice that's being affected as Goddess Nyx, NYX, and Goddess Onyx, ONYX, trying to get to Adonis to alert them of the seriousness of the nature of what I'm feeling and experiencing. Again, star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza.